Hi and welcome to another video on this channel. Before we get into today's discussion, I would like to say thank you to my recent subscribers. I have been asking viewers of my videos to subscribe to this channel and a number of you guys have done just that. So I would like to say thank you. I really appreciate that. Now, our discussion for today concerns the chances that DV selectees have when it comes to being interviewed. That is a major preoccupation of diversity visa selectees, and we will be responding to that in today's video. Now, in order to respond to that preoccupation, we are going to consider two things. Firstly, in my last video, I introduced a website by an individual who compiles diversity visa information in addition to the information that is provided on that website. He has also made available a useful tool when it comes to determining the chances that diversity visa cases have of being interviewed. So let's move over to his website and consider the tool in question. Now we are on the website of this gentleman who provides us with diversity visa statistics. On the left side here, we have the SEAC data from several years. All you need to do is to click on the data that corresponds to your program year. In our case, is DV 2022. So we click on the DV 2022 SEAC data and it takes us to this page that we saw in our last video, that is the DV 2022 SEAC data. Now, to access the tool that I spoke about earlier, you only need to scroll down the page. You go by a couple of graphs and then you arrive at this question that says how many cases there are before and after min. This is the tool that I spoke about moments ago. Now, how do you use this tool? You simply click in this space and type in your case number. All right, so let us say 2022. If you are from the Africa region, for example, and your case number is this test case number that we usually use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you simply click on the check button at the right hand side and it tells you how many cases are before this case and how many cases are after this case in the Africa region. We see that there are 7,133 cases before and 22,552 cases after this case number in the Africa region. It also tells approximately how many people are before and after the case. So we see that we have like 11,775 people that are before this case number, 12,345, and as many as 37,227 persons after this case. Now, it works for all other regions, not just the Africa region. If you are in Europe, for example, having this same case number, you can type it in, or write EU, for example, and click on check, and then that is also going to produce, as you can see below here, the number of cases that are before this case number in Europe and the number of cases that are after this case number. So that is all you have to do. Now, how do you interpret this result? When you have less cases before your case number and more cases after your case number, it means that your chances of being interviewed are high. On the other hand, if you have more cases before you and less cases after you, then your chances of getting an interview are low. I usually compare the diversity visa program to standing in a queue or standing in a line where you are to be served some item that is limited in quantity. If you have many people standing ahead of you in that queue and fewer persons standing behind you, it means that the chances of that item getting to you in that queue are low. And on the other hand, if you have only fewer persons before you in the queue and more persons after you, then you have higher chances of being served that item. So it's the same with the diversity visa program. So this case number has fewer cases before it and more cases after it, and so it has a higher chance of being served a diversity visa in the Africa region in this fiscal year. And this applies to all regions, not just Africa and Europe. You could also apply it to the Asia region or any other region for that matter. So that is how you go about getting an idea of the chances you have of being interviewed as a diversity visa selectee in the fiscal year. I'm going to drop the link to this website in the description of this video. Now, this is not just all. We are going to see another aspect that you must also take into consideration when it comes to determining your chances of being interviewed. Now, that tool is a great one when you consider that diversity visa cases are processed from lower case numbers to higher case numbers under normal conditions. But for the past 2 years, the program has not been operating under normal conditions due to the coronavirus pandemic, which brings us to the second point. Now, what I would like to add as the second point is that as you go about using this tool, you must also take into consideration external factors that may affect your chances of being interviewed. The coronavirus is one of them. I think it's the most prominent one, but not only the coronavirus, you should also take into consideration prevailing circumstances in your country. Because if things are not favorable in your country, in your region, or in the world at large, it's going to negatively affect the diversity visa program, and that will also lower your chances of being interviewed. So yes, use this tool, but in addition, take into consideration external factors that may affect your chances of being interviewed as well. So that brings us to the end of today's discussion regarding the chances that diversity visa selectees have of being interviewed. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it adequately responded to that major preoccupation that many of you diversity visa selectees have. And if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button, and also share this video and others with those you know are in need of diversity visa information and education. And I will see you, God willing, in the next one. Goodbye.